Hey, Facebook Live. It's your girl, Dr. V. Great afternoon, great afternoon, great afternoon. You guys come on in. Come on in. I want to talk to you guys about let not thine heart be troubled. I did this live earlier this morning, but I discovered I had no sound, right? So I had no sound, and so you guys couldn't hear what I was saying. And I wanted to come back because what I said, I feel like you guys really needed to hear it, right? I know that you did because then I saw that one of my babies, Jennifer Kinzer, had done a Facebook Live that was so impactful. If you guys have not seen it, make sure you do. Jennifer Kinzer, go check her out on Facebook. She did a very powerful live. It was very powerful. And so, hey, Tandria, how are you, gorgeous? So I wanted to come on so that I could tell you what I said when I said, let not your heart be troubled. Oh, thank you. Thank you, cousin. So listen, this is the thing, the word of God talks about not letting your heart be troubled, right? Not allowing yourself to be overwhelmed, right? Not worrying. That's okay. So I've got to remember that I'm on through my phone, right? So I got to remember that. I'm not remembering that. Okay. So, just not letting your heart be troubled. And when I say heart, I don't mean your heart as in the organ. I mean your heart as in your mind, right? When you read heart in the Bible, really it's talking about your mind, right? And so when you understand that you can't let your heart be troubled, in other words, don't allow yourself to be worried and worked up about stuff, right? Don't let your heart be troubled, right? And so I want you to understand that it doesn't change anything. Your heart being troubled doesn't change anything. You being worried doesn't change anything, not in the positive. If anything, in fact, it changes it to the negative. And so you can't afford to be stuck in that place. And what that means is you've got to be able to separate what's going on around you from your mind and what you're focused on. Oh, thank you, Shaquana. Thank you. I appreciate that. Listen, even that. Okay, so let me tell you guys. So literally, I had taken my hair out on Saturday, right? So everybody knows this is not my hair. Okay, it's no secrets, right? So I have a lot of crochets. I do crochet styles. I love them. They're protective styles to allow my hair to grow, and I don't have to do a lot with them. And I love that. That's amazing for me, right? So I took my hair out on Saturday. I was thinking that Saturday was Sunday because I was scheduled to get my hair done on Monday, right? So I took my hair out on Saturday. I had Sunday where I would have to go live. Then I had Monday where I would have to go live. And, I just had to deal with my hair, and it was what it was. My hair was my hair. Listen, and I have truly African hair. Like, my hair is African. I know I'm from the motherland without a doubt, right? Because I have very tight coils, as they would say in the cosmetology industry. I have very tight coils. My hair is very tight. And it's very thick, right? So I knew that was going to be a whole thing, right? And so Monday came, and I was supposed to get my hair done, and I could not get my hair done on Monday. So I'm like, okay, listen, I'm not even going to worry about it. I'll just get it done, when I can. Listen, that was today, okay? So I could have been stuck and like, oh, I can't get my hair done. Da, 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 da. That would be letting my heart be troubled, my mind. Heart, mind, remember, that's what we're talking about, right? But why, right? Because I'm wearing my natural hair. Listen, it's my hair. Like, this is my hair. Like, this is what you'll see. If I don't have any crochets in, this is my hair. Not blown out, just shampooed, drawn up because it air dried. All of that. The shrinkage is real. All of that, right? But why worry about that? Oh, well, people might think, listen, people are going to think what they think. They're going to feel how they feel. If the only way that you think that I'm attractive is if when I have my crochets in, then you really don't think I'm attractive. You think my hair is attractive. Okay. So that's a whole nother story. Listen, we don't have time to be bogged down with being worried, with being stressed out about things. We don't have time for that. So this is what I tried to tell y'all this morning, even though y'all couldn't hear me. So there is this intersection that we hit in our life, right? It is an intersection between our passion, our purpose, and movement. Our passion, our purpose, and movement. It is in that intersection. It is in that sweet spot where passion, purpose, and movement all hit, that we are able to get the greatest movement towards our destiny, right? When passion, purpose, and movement hit in that sweet spot, that is where we're able to get the most movement towards our destiny. Now, this is the problem. Sometimes your passion can be the thing that is overriding, right? And it's all about your passion and what you're passionate about, but you're not necessarily operating in purpose. Or you can be caught up in your purpose and your passion, but you're not moving. You're not moving forward. You're not pushing forward. You're not making any movement, right? And so while your purpose and your passion are there, they're interlocked, they're intertwined. The movement is not there. And the movement is what really gets you to your destiny. The passion pushes it, the purpose directs it, and the movement gets you there. Let me say that again. Now, that's powerful, right? The passion pushes it. That emotion pushes it. The purpose directs it. It tells where for it to go. And the movement gets it going, okay? So the combination, the intersection of passion, purpose, and movement pushes you, propels you towards your destiny. So listen, if you get all worked up and stressed out and you're all worried and overwhelmed and all of that good stuff, then what happens is something gets off kilter, and either you're not going to let your passion show up, you're not going to be guided by your purpose, or you're going to be moving randomly, haphazardly, and you don't have to. You need the three of them to work together in order to have the greatest impact. So I had to do some self-checking. This was my self-check, right? So on Saturday, something happened and it kind of threw me off, right? It threw me off. It affected me. To be honest with you, I had hurt feelings, right? I had hurt feelings. I felt some type of way. And what I discovered was after Saturday was over, it was still kind of there. Like, let's be honest, it was still there. And because it was still there and I was still feeling some type of way, my energy wasn't directed correctly, right? So here I am now feeling some type of way. I'm in my feelings. I'm in my emotions. Like talking about, well, I don't care. Clearly I care. Because if I didn't, all that emotion wouldn't have been coming forward, right? So what I had to do, though, today was acknowledge that I allowed what happened on Saturday to cause my movement to stop. I wasn't working in purpose, and my passion was pulled way back. Okay? But that's being honest. You got to have an honest assessment. And then I felt my heart being troubled. Like, wait a minute, what am I doing? What am I doing? Right? This has nothing to do with anybody else and has everything to do with me. Because at the end of the day, it's my purpose. It's my passion. And it's my movement that is going to dictate what happens in my life for my destiny. Other people, yes, there's a role that people play, but at the end of the day, I'm just saying, y'all, at the end of the day, I get to choose how I respond to things, how I move when things happen. I get to choose that. And I chose incorrectly. That's just real talk. I chose incorrectly. I didn't handle my emotions the way I needed to handle them. I just didn't handle the situation the way it needed to be handled. I just didn't. I didn't. And the result of it was my movement stopped. I became stagnated. And anything that's stagnant is dead, right? So I can't live a dead life. So I had to check myself. And today was really about me checking myself. Like, I had to check myself, right? And I had to say, hey, what's at the root of this? Yeah, because, right? Let not thine heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid, right? Because there was the troubling and there was the fear that were all mixing together, okay? That what had me immobilized. I wasn't moving. But that was no one's fault but mine. See, no one else is responsible for my movement but me. I'm responsible for my movement. I'm responsible for how I respond to the things that happen in my life. I'm responsible for that. And I don't care what they did or how bad it was or none of that matters. I'm responsible for me. Because if I give them the credit for being responsible for how I move, then what I'm saying is they run my life. And that's not the truth. I run my life. Whichever direction I go in, wherever I go, however I deal with something, that's on me. Because if that's on me, then if it's not going the way I need it to go or I want it to go, then I can change that. Today, prime example, today is that day. Today is the day that I change that. Today is the day that I take control, take back dominion. You get my mind back right? Today is the day that I do that because I had to look up and be honest with myself and say, that was some bull. And I was on some bull. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how people feel about me. It doesn't matter whether they're my friend or they unfriend me. It doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, this is about my purpose, my passion, my movement towards my destiny. It is mine. And I want to encourage you guys. Every one of us has a purpose. Every one of us. We all have a purpose. It is a purpose that, God has established before the foundations of the world, before your mother met your father, before the sperm met the egg, like before any of that, before the gestational period when you were in your mother's womb, before any of that, there was a purpose in the Creator's mind for you. And now your life is designed for you to discover that purpose, to discover your passion, and to move into your destiny. Why? The world. You see, Dr. B, you always say that. Yes, and I'm going to keep saying it. The world. The world is waiting for you. The world is waiting for you to show up and to show out in all of your glory. The world is waiting for you. I was watching a video that Kevin Wesley did today, and he was using the story of this sage and how the sage was trying to save this mouse and all this stuff, right? And those of you who don't know who Kevin Wesley is, he is the brother who is in a polygamous relationship with two sisters. And so he does a lot of videos and stuff, and people are in uproar and outrage about their relationship. And, people are doing all this and doing all that. But he's also a musician, a speaker, whatever. And listen, so I was watching the video and I was like, wow, can you imagine what would happen if all of us just decided to walk out our purpose without being worried about everybody else and them walking out their purpose? What would happen if your focus was on you and what God has called you to do? What would happen? What would happen if you really, really, really allowed yourself to step up and be the person that God created you to be for all of the world, right? To do what it is that you've been called to do, not to fit it into the, framework of someone else's vision for what they're doing, but for you to do what you've been called to do. What would happen? The world would be a very different place. Why? There are people who are waiting specifically on you to show up because there's something that you have that they desperately need. And when you show up the way that you're supposed to show up, then they can get what they need. And then guess what they can do? They can show up for the person or the people that are waiting for them to show up. It's a whole thing. It's a whole cycle. You see, I had to learn that I have to be the way that I am, right? I have to be the way that I am because there are people who need to see that so that they can be the way that they are. And know that it's okay to be you, right? I have to be the way that I am because there are people who need to know, right, that you can show up authentically, genuinely, really, right, and impact people's lives without it conforming to what other people think you should look like. I get it. I know my stories bother people, right? My stories bother you. Like, why do you always have to have workout videos? Why is your butt to the camera? Whatever. Listen, let me tell y'all something. I need you to understand that for me, this fitness journey is a very real thing, right? Because I was extremely overweight. Now, I know my extremely overweight for other people may not seem like a lot, but it was a lot for me because it's not my natural body makeup. It's not my natural body type. It's not. Like, that's not normally who I am. So for me, that's a big deal, right? And my butt, that's an important part of it, right? It's an important part of it because I know what I'm working towards. And people need to know that if you want to create a certain look, if there's a certain look that you want your body to have, there's specific things that you do to create that look, right? It's about creating something and letting people know that it requires work to get it. It requires work, right? And that work produces a result. Now, listen, if you don't believe me that the work produces a result, I want you to go back and look at my earlier pictures. Go back and look at my pictures. You'll see how the work has worked to create a different body for me. Right? And that's the thing. I want you to see the journey the progression. And I want you to be liberated. I want you to be free. I want you to come out of the box. Come out of the box. Come out of the matrix. Come out of the maze that people have put you in, right? They said, oh, well, if you're this, you can't do that. Or if you're this, you can't do this, right? Listen, there ought to be a conversation that you have with God where it's you and God. And if God ain't mad at you, and nobody else should be mad at you. And then it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter what people think. See, that's another way that you don't need to let your heart be troubled. Don't let your heart be troubled about what people think about what you do. It's not your business. It's none of my business what anybody else thinks about what I do, about how I move, about how I speak, about how I run my business, how I run my school. It's none of my business. It's none of my business. What is my business is making sure that I am being the best me that I can be, that I am doing what I do in excellence. That's my business, right? And when things interfere with that, then it's my business and my job to make sure that I get it back in alignment. See, that's what's my business and that's what's my job. I'm not saying that you don't have a level of accountability. You always have a level of accountability. But what I'm saying is you get to determine how that accountability shows up and what you use it for. Do you use it to cause you to feel condemnation? Because if that's the case, condemnation is unproductive. Conviction moves people. Condemnation paralyzes them. Let me say that again. Conviction moves people and condemnation paralyzes them. One moves you forward, the other one calls you to halt right where you are. Now, why is that important? Because listen, what sometimes people call themselves convicting someone creates condemnation. And we know the Bible says there is now no condemnation in Christ Jesus. There's no condemnation in him, right? So we've got to understand that when there's condemnation, that is not from God. That is a tool of the enemy designed to paralyze you and keep you from moving forward. Conviction is from God. And when you feel conviction, that's God saying, you might need to rethink that. Like I had to rethink my Saturday. I had to rethink how I moved. I had to rethink, what I did. Like I had to rethink that thing. I felt convicted. So there's a difference between conviction and condemnation. Conviction moves you forward. Condemnation puts you in a state of paralysis. And you've got to decide what you're going to do. But check this out. Is it your job to condemn? Is that your job? Right? I just think that we get so caught up in everybody else's life and making sure everybody else is living what they need to live that we forget that our first responsibility is to look at ourselves. Because I would contend that sometimes in our efforts to create conviction for others, we actually produce condemnation, which has the risk of causing people to stop and not move forward. And then that is on you. It's on you. So as you go throughout the rest of your day, I want you to remember this. Let not your heart be troubled. And when I say heart, I'm not talking about the organ. I'm really talking about your mind. Don't let it be troubled. Instead, focus on moving forward by finding that intersection between purpose, passion, and movement so that you're moving towards your destiny while your purpose is guiding you and your passion is driving you. When you understand that and you get that, maybe it is a game changer. With that said, so let me tell you guys, I've been getting real clear about who I am and what I want and, what I need in my life and what I'm passionate about. And as I'm really looking at my life, I'm discovering some things about me. Some things I already knew. Some things I'm discovering anew, right? I'm discovering it anew. Like maybe I knew it at one point, but like I'm discovering it anew. So I'm passionate about the financial, economic liberation of people, particularly Black and brown people. I'm passionate about that. I'm passionate about the liberation of the mind, the finances, the spirit, the whole being, the whole person, right? The whole 5 dimensions of our being. I'm passionate about that. And I'm so passionate about it that I believe that when we get clear about what we need in those 5 dimensions, it changes the game for us. So I told you guys earlier that I'm going to be doing my Quantum Leap workshop. My Quantum Leap workshop deals with those 5 dimensions so that you can get clarity on what it is you want and what you need in those 5 dimensions to propel you into that next place, into destiny, because destiny is there. It's waiting for you, right? It's already been established and it's waiting for you to show up. Listen, everything that is needed to be created has already been created and it's waiting for you to help manifest it on the earth, right? In the spirit realm, it already exists. And now it is the manifestation that must take place on the earth. So my Quantum Leap workshop, I'm actually going to be doing this Saturday. This Saturday, I'm offering my Quantum Leap workshop, and I'm going to be releasing the details on it. If you're interested, if you want to know how to take a quantum leap in your life, getting those 5 dimensions of your life together, then you definitely want to drop Quantum Leap in the comments. Drop Quantum Leap in the comments, and I'm going to tell you how you can register for this workshop. So let me tell you about me. My passion is such that I like the interaction with people. So it's not going to be this time. It's not going to be a recorded. It's not going to be a recorded workshop. This is going to be live. This is going to be me and you and the other people who are involved, really, really, really getting honest with ourselves and getting transparent so that we can really prepare for going into 2021, right? See, you need to get clear about what you need in those 5 dimensions in order to know how to move and how to navigate them. So Quantum Leap, drop it in the comments and I will get you the information on how you can register for the workshop that's going to take place this Saturday. Y'all may say, Dr. V, well, that's quick. Shouldn't you give people more time? No. Give people more time for what? For them to not make a decision? Listen, what I know is when you want something, you want it badly enough so that you'll do what you need to do to be in position. You'll do what you need to do in order to be there. You'll do what you need to do. That's the way it works. I've discovered that people, the more time they have, the more excuses they come up with. Or they may decide that they're going to do it and then things happen and then there's, whatever. So this Saturday, I'm offering my Quantum Leap workshop. We're going to deal with the 5 dimensions of your life and how you can get liberated so that you can get clear and plan for 2021. As we're getting ready to close out 2020, I know some people have thrown 2020 in the trash can. I have not. 2020 is still going to be my best year yet. And so I understand that for me, this is a part of my passion and my purpose is helping other people get clear, helping other people get there because that's significant to me. That's important to me. This Saturday, Quantum Leap workshop. We're going to talk about how to take that quantum leap and propel you in to your destiny. The 5 dimensions. You're going to want to be there. I see you, Michelle. I'm going to send you the information. Make sure that you, matter of fact, put Quantum Leap in so that I'll get back with you on it. Okay. So I want you guys to know that God desires the very best for you and you deserve the very best. But whether or not you get it, it's going to totally be dependent upon you and whether or not you're willing to do the work required to get to the destination. And it does require work. It is not for the faint at heart, but for those who are willing to do the work, you can absolutely get there. Listen, you guys, I want you to know, I love you guys. To life and life more abundant, don't let your heart be troubled. Don't let worry take over. Instead, take control, take dominion of your thoughts, and you declare what you want and not what you see. Listen, I love you guys. Be absolutely blessed. Mwah.